Reddit is about to go public and there could be an opportunity for you to make some major cash, or is it just an opportunity for you to lose more money? Let's go ahead and break it down. All right, again, an IPO is an initial public offering. It's the first time that regular people like me and you can get in on the ground floor on what we hope to be an amazing company. You always see memes and articles about, hey, here's how much money you would have if you invested in Amazon on day one. Well, we got the opportunity to invest on day one for a company like Reddit. But there are 5 things that I pulled out that I think you should absolutely know and I think can help you to make a better decision whether you're going to buy or just let this one go. The first one is this. This is the first major IPO, especially in the social media market, that we have seen since 2019. Now, in 2017, 18, 19, we started to see a lot of IPOs. We saw Uber, we saw Slack back then, and Slack was then acquired by, Salesforce. There was a lot of IPOs. And the interesting thing is, at least for me, I worked like right behind Wall Street. So I would walk by and see these big banners every other day and sometimes get free food every time a company went public. And it felt like every other day a new company was going public. Lyft was another one of those companies. Zoom was another one that I was just there for. Again, it felt like every single day. Well, this is the first one since 2019. Yes, DoorDash went public in like 2021. You had a few here and there, but after the pandemic and all this stuff happened, you really don't see the same amount of IPOs like we used to. But since 2019, again, the last company that went public in the social media space was, wait for it, Pinterest. How has that stock done since its IPO? Notoriously, most IPOs in the first few years are absolutely terrible, but Pinterest is actually up. It is up about 45% from its IPO date to now, which is surprising to me. I definitely would have thought it would have lost money. However, context is always key. At one point in 2021, the stock was all the way up about 200%, nearly 200% at one point in time, and then it fell off and has not really recovered back to that previous point. But remember, investing is really about when you got in. Okay, so if you got in 2019, you're still up. If you got in at the peak at 2021, it is not looking great right now. So it definitely depends on when you got in and how you feel about the company. But what if we took a larger sample size? Most people are always going to look at Meta, look at that company, look at how great they are since their IPO. Remember in the first few years, really the first few months, that company fell off the face of the earth, it felt like. But a better example of something that was a little more recent is Snapchat. They went public in 2017, and that stock is down 56%. Okay, that one is down 56% from its IPO. So Reddit can go either way. I think the next 4 points are really going to help you to determine where you think this company could go. This one stood out. The next thing here is they are going to sell 22 million shares total. 1.76 million are going to go to about 75,000 users. I think that is a great idea. They're including their community of users, which does not happen. It hasn't happened in my memory where, hey, I get to use this site and I get shares just for being here. Great. I think that is pretty cool. However, there is a term that you really want to know here, and that is no lockup period. Lockup period normally is when the CEOs and people who work there, they get shares, and in most cases, they become instant millionaires or billionaires because you work there, right? If you work there, you get shares at dirt cheap. And then when it gets priced and it goes to its IPO price, they get very rich very quickly. And what you don't want them to do is instantly sell at 9:31, a minute after the market opens, and just dump all their shares. So the lockup period says, hey, you have to hold these shares for 90 days. You have to hold it for X amount of time, and then you can do whatever it is you want to do once the market has kind of cooled down. Well, these users don't have a lockup period. They can decide to sell immediately, or they can hold it for as long as they want. This could, it could add a lot of volatility, both in a good way or a bad way. Remember, the whole meme stock craze, the whole movie about it, this was based on Reddit and how active people were on Reddit and how that kind of swayed everything. Will these users pump up this stock to ungodly levels and make something crazy happen, or will they be sour and instantly dump everything and sell and the stock absolutely crash? I don't know. We are going to see, but the fact they don't have a lockup period is something that can incentivize them to either pump the stock and make money or not. So that is one that's really interesting. Also, because they're shareholders, what if they cared and just continue to hold on to it and the stock just does well? Don't know. So that was going to be one that's quite interesting, but it is 75,000 users, which sounds like a lot, but again, it's 22 million shares total. They're only getting less than 2 million of those shares. All right, what is the stock symbol going to be? When is all this supposed to happen, and what do you need to know about it? The stock symbol is going to be RDDT. Okay, RDDT. It is supposed to go live on my son's birthday, which again is really interesting because on his birthday a few years ago, another stock went public. He's just a stock market kid. But it's going to go public on March 21st. The thing that you need to know that I see a lot of new investors fall into is the time the market opens is not the time that this company can go public. I have seen in many cases, sometimes 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I don't know, 2:04, right? It goes public whenever it goes public. So just keep refreshing your app if you really want to get onto it the time that it comes out. But it very, very rarely comes out first thing in the morning. Your app is not cheating you the fact that you woke up and you couldn't buy Reddit first thing in the morning, okay? That's not how it works, okay? They just go public at whatever time during the day. If you had to ask me to guess, I would think anywhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Okay, that's just my guess. But again, I don't think there's like a set time that they have to hit the market in the time that it hits your app. But just know it's likely not going to be the first thing that you see when you wake up. All right. Next here, we have a free resource that you do want to check out. If you want to learn how to invest and do it quickly, I have a free PDF for you. The link is right here. I'll walk you through the entire investing process. And again, it's PDF, so you can refer to it as much as you want. 100% free. The link is here. The link is also in the bio below. Now, the next thing that you do want to know is they've been around for nearly 20 years and have had exactly 0 profitable years. None. Nada. They ain't never made no money for an entire year. They did make money and were finally profitable in Q4 of 2023. But that's it. In 20 years. Never made money. The other concerning thing here, or actually before I get to the other concerning thing, they are shifting their profit model a bit, and thanks to companies like OpenAI and especially Google, they're selling their data, basically the text that people have on the screen on Reddit, selling it to these large language models so they can improve AI services. And they're kind of renting that data out so they can get paid in multiple ways, which users feel a certain way. I would feel a certain way if you're using my language. I'm not on Reddit, but if you're using my content, right? Let's say if I put all of this content in written form and put it on Reddit, you're taking my content without really, I guess I subscribe to it now because I would have been a user and signed off on the terms of agreement. So there's that. But you would be taking my stuff and training some large language model to do X, Y, and Z. Now, to give you an idea of how weird that can be and how strange that can be from a creator's perspective, just to give you a sense of why somebody might not like that, is this. I write articles for Fortune and Business Insider and all these other companies, right? Well, they want to make sure that what you're writing is original, that is yours, that AI didn't write it. Well, what happens when the AI program is trained on me? What does that mean? That means that it's going to go out there and find like, hey, Kevin wrote this article in 2017, but also your writing looks very similar to what you're writing now. Therefore, you plagiarized yourself because I was trained on you. So that makes it real strange for people who have definitely been writing for longer than I have. I have personally not run into that situation, but the longer I write, the more opportunities there are for that to occur. So that is one reason why people don't want their stuff trained on their own data and their own conversations. So that is something that users have cried about, and I absolutely get it. But that is the other way they're trying to make money. Why is that important? Because, moving down to, I guess, number 5 here on the list, is 98% of their money comes from advertising only. They're trying to move towards AI to diversify that stream because advertising can be an up and down business. Again, they ain't never been profitable for an entire year. So advertising ain't working for you, right? We also saw just, 2 years ago in 2022, when we thought there was going to be a recession, or we thought it was going to be a recession in 2023, a lot of companies were pulling back on their advertising dollars, and that really hurt companies like Meta. Remember the Apple privacy thing and how that hurt a company like Meta. This could hurt companies like Reddit, and that can continue to hurt companies like Reddit. So they needed to kind of shift and make money in other ways. And every other major company, let's take a company like Alphabet, aka Google. Yes, they've got search. Yes, they've got the advertising business that makes the majority of their money. They also have YouTube TV. They also have the Google Chrome. They also have, well, I guess a browser. They also have the Android phones. They got a bunch of different ways to make money. Reddit right now does not. That would be a major concern for me. The good thing is, remember, this is the IPO. This is the beginning of the journey for us investors, right? Perhaps that could change. I could also say it's been 20 years that they've existed. That didn't stop them from not creating other products and other revenue streams. So you can look at it however it is you want to look at it. The next thing here is, if you want to get in it or get into this stock early, you do have an opportunity without being a Reddit user. Okay, if you want to get in on it early, I keep stumbling over my words, you do have an opportunity. And that is through, I call it a secret, it's not really a secret, but there is an app that you can use. The app is free. The app is SoFi Invest. We talked about this when we did the Revvion IPO, and I was able to get shares before it went public. So what you do is sign up on the app. I'll put a link down below. I don't know if it's an affiliate link or not, but you go to SoFi Invest and you click the IPO tab, and you get to have an opportunity to reserve shares early, and you get it when the users get it and when all the other special bigwigs get their shares too, and perhaps you could profit from it. Now, when I went back and did this for the Revvion IPO, I still am holding on to that. It wasn't, it's like $100 or so, because I wanted to test it out. Any product that I give to y'all or I talk to y'all about, I have tested myself, okay? Now, I'm still down on Revvion. I really don't care. It wasn't that much money, but also I expected that. We see how IPOs play out over several years. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It doesn't usually happen overnight. Reddit could definitely be special based on how its reputation has absolutely changed the stock market. All right. If you want me to do a tutorial on how this whole thing works, please let me know in the comments. I only make videos that I feel like y'all gonna watch. Okay. So let me know in the comments if you want that. But should you buy this stock? Would I buy this stock? Would I put this money, or this stock, in my client's portfolio or my kid's portfolio? No, I would not. And it's not a bias against Reddit specifically. It is really looking at the numbers. That they haven't been profitable is something that does concern me, especially that they've been around for 20 years. But more importantly, IPOs just tend to be very, very volatile. That's really it. And that's always been my thing. I have never invested in an IPO with the exception of Revvion, because we wanted to test out the app, and with the exception of Snowflake. I am down on both. Okay, Warren Buffett is also down on Snowflake, if that makes anybody feel any better. Okay, but they tend to be very volatile and could take years to pay off. Yes, I told you that, what was it, 2019, it was Pinterest. Pinterest is up, but you had to have held it for about 5 years now. Okay, now if you want to be a long-term investor, which you should be, I think that's great. Also, the S&P 500 is up nearly double that amount in that time. So there's that. Yeah, you would have made money, but you would have made nearly double that amount by just sitting in an index fund without the IPO. So there's multiple ways to look at it, okay? Yes, you can hold it for 5, 6, 10 years. Perhaps you'll make money. I hope that you do if you want to invest in any IPOs. Well, I'm still holding Revvion and Snowflake. But I don't think it's the absolute best, most efficient strategy to invest. But if you want a good, best, most efficient strategy to start investing, then this is the video that you want to check out next.